Hey, what is up, you guys? It is Tyler. Welcome back to the Tyler Williams channel, and welcome to another video. This is your SmackDown live review. Now, usually I don't do reviews of SmackDown. Actually, I never do reviews of SmackDown live. I don't watch Raw or SmackDown, as you guys know, but with the exception, last week I heard a lot of people tell me, "Oh my God, SmackDown was so good. You need to watch it." And I'm like, of course I'm not going to watch SmackDown Live. Like, fuck. So then this week they're like, "Oh my God, did you gotta watch Monday Night Raw? Monday Night Raw was so good." And then I see like the super low rating it got, and I'm like, well, it couldn't have been that good. But I actually watched Monday Night Raw on Hulu, and I actually thought it was a good episode of Raw, which you can't really say in 2018 anymore. So I was shocked by that. So I'm like, all right, good episode of Raw. Must be a good episode of SmackDown coming up. Maybe I'll check out tonight's episode of SmackDown. And I got home and I'm like, I'm about an hour late. Let me turn this on, see what's happening. Started from the beginning and I watched the entire show. Started falling asleep towards the end. That could be because I was tired from work. I think it was a combination of being tired and the show just was not interesting. But let's start from the top here, okay? So, Paige started off the show in the ring saying that, remember last week, now I of course didn't know what was going on. Well, I do because I get updates from podcasts and dirt sheets. But basically last week on SmackDown Live, Samoa Joe was at AJ Styles' house, knocking on the door, trying to get inside and say hello to Wendy. Let me stop. Say hello to AJ's wife and kids. And it kind of ended on a cliffhanger, which is great. I found this to be very, very stupid. How do you end on a cliffhanger and then the closure we get is Paige telling us, "So you guys know, Samoa Joe did not get into AJ Styles' house. The authorities were called right away and he did not get in." Or how do you say it in a British accent? My British accent sucked, mind you. But she basically said that Samoa Joe didn't get in, the authorities were called right away and he was arrested. So you got all sleep nicely knowing that your little cliffhanger didn't mean shit. That's basically what she said. So I was a bit disappointed at that because the payoff sucked. But anyway, so she said, you know, the only other option here with Samoa Joe going outside the boundaries that he should is that we fire AJ for Samoa Joe breaking into his house, right? No, we're going to fire Samoa Joe. And the crowd starts to boo. They don't like this. And she says, well, but we gave the option to another person, AJ Styles. And we gave AJ Styles a promo from him via satellite at his house. And he says, "I'm sorry I can't be there at SmackDown Live tonight, guys." The crowd starts booing because, of course, they want to see AJ Styles wrestle. And he was like, "I have to be here with my family." A very depressing time for them. Having some guy come here and spook them. I just couldn't leave them. And he was all emotional, trying to whip up some tears, but it just wasn't working. But he had a sad face on, and that's all that matters. So he's like, "Yeah, I'm sorry I couldn't be there tonight, but don't worry because this is his words. He's going to bury Samoa Joe alive." Now, I may not have quoted it directly. It might be paraphrased, but I remember him saying, "I'm going to bury Samoa Joe alive." And the crowd starts cheering. Now, I instantly think, this is a buried alive match. That's a weird direction to take it in, but I'll take it. I haven't seen a buried alive match in years. I don't know when it's, like, what, 2009 maybe? Big Show versus Undertaker? I don't remember when the last time I saw a buried alive match was, but I'm like, okay, I'm all down for that. Then we get the match graphic, and it says, "No disqualification, no count." I said, bitch, what the fuck did you say buried alive for if there was no insinuation of a... He basically insinuated that this is going to be a buried alive match, and then there was no buried alive. I'm like, wow. So I'm glad they showed the match graphic afterwards, so that way I couldn't be too hyped for the Sunday. But, yeah, that happened. So that basically already told you, or we could assume off of WWE logic, that AJ and Samoa Joe were coming out later that night. Maybe to have a bit of a match. Probably not a match. Have a bit of a scuffle, something to go on. But no, we did not see AJ or Samoa Joe at all that night. So, I thought that was a bit disappointing that you didn't have the champion or the challenger on. I mean, I get, it's an intense rivalry and they got the whole thing going from last week, but not even a scuffle going into Super Showdown. Like, I thought that was a bit odd, but okay. We didn't get the first match. R-Truth and Carmella versus Andrade Cien Almas and Zelina Vega. R-Truth and Carmella came out singing "What's Up," R-Truth's theme song. I like Carmella as a babyface, honestly. I mean, as a heel, I thought she was good, and she works as I heard some people talking about, oh my god, I can't believe she's so good as a babyface. Where is this coming from? It's like a glimmer of hope. Maybe she's gonna do well. I'm like, first of all, Carmella started off as a babyface in NXT. Do you guys remember Enzo and Cass? They were a thing in NXT. You know what their manager was? Carmella. You wanna know what they were? A babyface tag team. So there you go. Carmella started off as a babyface, so obviously she can still do the babyface real well. I just could not. I was laughing at all those people saying, I'm shocked. I can't believe this. I'm like, really? You mean to tell me someone who didn't know? It's like, oh my god. Whatever. Anyway, so in this match, Carmella and R-Truth were did a dance break. Carmella started flossing. R-Truth started doing the shoot dance. Shoot. They started doing all the trendy 2018 dances. That was pretty funny. Andrade and Zelina, they did their whole tranquilo. They did the whole thing going on. They did that for a bit. That was actually kind of amusing. The match they had was nothing special. I can't remember a single thing except for the finish. Carmella finished off Zelina Vega with a flatliner. Went for the 3 count, but Andrade pulled Carmella off of him. We're starting to get a little bit more physical between men and women. Not to the point where like they're striking each other in the face and shit. I don't think that's ever going to happen on WWE television. But now we're starting to see men pull women off of each other. And like they're putting their hands on them. But not in like a extremely physical sense, you know what I mean? He pulls Carmella off. They start exchanging words. Carmella goes to super kick him, but he grabs her foot. R-Truth sends him outside the ring. Zelina, of course, goes for a victory roll-up, but Carmella counters it into a counter. Well, counters it into a counter. Counters it into Code Silence for the submission victory. And Truth TV wins the match. I know it's not their tag team name, but the Truth TV name it. We didn't get a backstage segment with Ty Dillinger saying, I want a match with Randy Orton. And Paige is like, well, you're kind of on a lower mid-card. And Randy Orton's out here, like, injuring people. So do you really want that? And he's like, yes, I do. And she's like, you know what? Get that match, go ahead and get hurt if you want. Go ahead. And that match is set for later on. We didn't get a New Day Cooks segment. I guess this is their telling the audience how they make their pancakes. The segment I never knew I wanted to see until it happened. And then I instantly realized, wait a minute, there could be a match happening right now. Never mind. So the New Day, they come out, they have this guy nearby, and they're doing their jibber jabber, saying, please introduce the guy who's been making our pancakes for the past year, or however they've been doing the pancake gimmick, Mr. Bootyworth. And they introduce the guy, and the crowd's cheering for him. And listen, I like the New Day in doses. I think they're an interesting act. I like their matches. They've been a faction for like 4 or going on 5 years now. I'm a bit over the thing now. I'm so over the New Day. And I'm not saying that I don't like them. Like I said, I can watch them in doses and that's fine. But I am so over this faction. The stick is old. Change it up a bit. Like, make them go... You don't have to break them up, but, give them a little bit of serious side. After the match, they start relentlessly attacking their opponents. Or maybe they start cutting out all the colorful shit. They start coming out... They need a repackaging, honestly and truly. It is just... I don't know about y'all, but I just find a New Day to just be so annoying at this point. So, then nothing really happens. The bar comes out, lays out the New Day. Then they take the cake batter and they pour it over Mr. Bootyworth's hat. I can't believe I'm actually saying this name. They pour it on Mr. Bootyworth, and that was the end of the segment. A complete waste of time. We then get to the next match. Randy Orton versus Ty Dillinger. The match never started because Ty Dillinger attacked Randy Orton before the match even started. They went to blows a few times. Ty Dillinger actually back suplexed Randy Orton onto the announce table, which is a spot we usually see Randy Orton do. So that was pretty cool. Randy Orton then, being the sick, sadistic MFer that he is, I really like 6 of this to Randy Orton. You know, for all the flack I gave Randy Orton as a babyface, because let me tell you, I fucking hate Randy Orton as babyface. I can tolerate, and I do actually like heel Randy Orton. Once upon a time when Randy Orton was a heel back in 2008, I secretly really like that gimmick. I like low-key when I was younger, I used to boo the baby faces, but I actually fucking loved all of them. That's how I am now, except I'm just more upfront about it. So this Randy Orton, all for it. You know, putting the fucking screwdriver in Jeff Hardy's ear and twisting around, that shit was disgusting, and I could barely look away. But at the same time, I'm like, yes, this is the Randy Orton I want to see. So this one, he did. It was kind of eh. But he put Ty Dillinger's finger in between the crevice of the turnbuckle, the bottom turnbuckle. I can't really describe it because I feel like if I describe it, you're not going to picture very well. But basically, the bottom turnbuckle, he puts Ty Dillinger's finger in between like the crevice of the metal part. And he starts bending it back and twisting it and turning it. But his whole hand is covering his finger, so you can obviously tell he's not really doing much, which kind of took away from it. Now, I'm not expecting Randy Orton to just go and just snap his finger on live television, because, yeah, I wasn't expecting that, but still, it just kind of took away from it, in my opinion. So that happened. Shelton Benjamin and The Miz had a backstage promo. The Miz basically instigated and provoked Shelton Benjamin to go out there and hurt Daniel Bryan ahead of their match at Super Showdown this Saturday. Then we get to the segment everyone was waiting for. The Rusev, Lana, Aiden English segment. One night in Milwaukee. What are we going to see? Are we going to see Aiden English unveil some unsolicited sex tape that maybe Lana and Aiden English had that one night in Milwaukee? Are we going to see them making outs in some desolate park in Milwaukee? Are we going to see them illegally trading drugs and snorting coke in Milwaukee? I don't know what scenario I was thinking was going to happen, but the scenario I got was very, very, very dry. So basically, Aiden English comes out, Rusev line in the ring. They say, "What do you want? Just show it to us." He stalled for a bit, then he showed it. So basically, it was Aiden English in the dressing room rehearsing for his introduction for Rusev. Lana comes into the hotel room. Like, Aiden English, I need to talk to you. And she's all like, she has that little worried, but I'm kind of into you look on her face. And he's like, "Well, what is it, Lana?" And she's like, "Well, I have to tell you, honestly and truly, I want you." But the way it looked was so cheesy, because you obviously could tell that it was cut right before she finished the rest of her sentence. And anyone could have saw that, unless you were like vulnerable and stupid enough to believe that. You could tell it was cut before she said whatever. And I guess that was the point of it, but still. I was expecting them to make out or kiss or something, but that was kind of it. That was a letdown. And then afterwards, you're expecting either Rusev to freak out or something. And he is. But Lana is not even doing it. She's not saying anything. I'm thinking, okay, if this is what I think it is, and Aiden English deliberately cut out some of the video, why aren't you defending the fact that you're not showing the whole thing? Why are you just cutting it up and showing the bad part, show the whole thing? Like she's over there, sad face and all, like, "I can't believe he actually..." Like, what? Are you gonna fucking defend? Like, okay, so is that actually it? And then he's like, "No, there's more, but I can't show you it because I have like..." And so I'm like, okay, if there's more to the video, then unless like Lana actually started like, you know, unzipping Aiden English, then like I don't understand why she didn't defend herself. But she didn't. She had that discerned look, and Rusev, being the dumbass that he is, went after Aiden English even though his wife cheated on him. I always think it's funny how the person who got cheated on is not really the person who gets the flag, and it's the person who they cheated on you with, that's the person who's getting fucked up. I always think that's really funny. I mean, in my opinion, if you cheat on me, both your asses are getting fucked up. That's how I see it. Anyway, then we get into the next match. Shelton Benjamin versus Daniel Bryan. The match also just kind of happened. Shelton Benjamin dominated most of the match. As soon as Daniel Bryan started coming back, The Miz hopped on the apron, distracted Daniel Bryan. Shelton Benjamin hit the pay dirt, and that was it. Another non-noteworthy match. After the match, The Miz relentlessly attacked Daniel Bryan after the match, basically setting up the fact that he's going to be going into Super Showdown hurt. That's the so I'm guessing they're going to sell here, which is why Daniel Bryan will not win this Saturday. I didn't think he was going to win beforehand. I don't think he's going to win now. I think it'll be The Miz versus AJ Styles at Survivor Series. Well, The Miz will win, and we'll see where we go from there. I want Daniel Bryan to win the Rumble, but I know there's a very, very, very slim chance that will happen. But we'll see what happens. Then we get to technically the main event, which was odd. I mean, it was if this match happened at NXT, I'd be so fucking hyped, but it happened on SmackDown Live, so I was like, there's nothing to get excited about here. Peyton Royce versus Asuka. First of all, let me just understand. Y'all all remember, I used to be a huge Asuka fan. I have the shirts. I have the mask. I did the 9 years away when she came out to the ring. I was living and breathing Asuka. I have a Bible of her in my room. No, I'm just kidding. Peyton Royce is my baby. She was my second favorite behind Asuka in NXT. You couldn't tell me nothing was wrong with her because she was fucking flawless. Her and Billie Kay. So, in theory, you would think that I should be absolutely excited to see this match. But with the recent treatment of these women being absolute dog shit, there was absolutely nothing to be happy about watching this match. Knowing that Peyton Royce and Billie Kay came into SmackDown Live, attacked Charlotte Flair, and did absolutely dick afterwards, just made me go, this is why I don't trust the main roster with NXT call-ups. And then, Asuka, she had a nice run on Raw, but after SmackDown happened, yeah, let's not talk about what happened to Asuka after WrestleMania 34. So, yeah, in theory you would think I'd be excited, but I wasn't really excited at all, and that was really a shame because I, once upon a time, truly, really was excited when I saw these women. When they came out, I was still happy to see them because obviously I supported them in NXT and I still support them, but that true excitement I had is no longer there. And I hate that Raw and SmackDown always finds a way to kill my excitement for these NXT stars. I really do. Which is why I find it very hard to watch the main roster. Anyway, that rant aside, Asuka tapped out Peyton Royce. Very modified STF submission. It was a very cool submission move she locked in. But she finished off Peyton Royce in like 5-7 minutes in what was a throwaway match. Literally every match on this show was a throwaway. There was no good match. There was no match that had a cool spot. Maybe I would say probably the better match of the 4 or 5 I saw was probably the Andrade Zelina R-Truth Carmella match. But that was only because they had the whole shoot dance and everything. And they were having fun. That was fun. That was a fun match. That was the only thing that was good about the show. Then we got the final segment. Becky Lynch came out. And she did her whole shtick. The crowd was behind her. Of course, I was behind her. Who wouldn't be behind Becky Lynch at this point? And she's saying how, I don't understand why everyone is, I don't remember exactly what she said. It was kind of a blur. She had something with her. She had, like this poster covered up with a taper, or whatever it's called, with a cloth. She takes the cloth off to reveal a new poster for Super Showdown. It's basically her stepping on Charlotte with her title up in the air, and she says, see, people out here focusing on The Undertaker versus Triple H in the last time ever, when they should be focusing on me defending my title in Australia against Charlotte Flair for the first time. Then Charlotte comes out. She lays out Becky Lynch. Mind you, the crowd is booing her the entire time. The entire time, the crowd is booing her. She lays out Becky Lynch with a spear, throws her into the poster, locks in a figure 4 leg lock, and that was the end of the show. And I said, oh, wow. Wow, that was a very, very, very big waste of 2 hours. Jesus Christ. And I know exactly why I do not watch SmackDown Live every week. I mean, I understand some weeks are better than others, but this was just... Was this really supposed to be the go-home show to your big pay-per-view? Your second SummerSlam is how I see this. This is supposed to be the send-off. Raw had a better send-off than SmackDown, and that's really odd because more often than not, I always hear how SmackDown's the A show, SmackDown's the A show, you should watch SmackDown and not Raw. But here, I watched Raw, I actually enjoyed it, I watched SmackDown, and I said, wow, I could have been sleeping. And I actually did fall asleep during the last segment, and I had to go back and watch it, but still, what a colossal waste of time. Can't believe I actually sat there and watched it. Anyway, Super Showdown is this Saturday. I will be live streaming it at 5 a.m. Eastern Time, so you guys tune in for that. I will be doing my predictions for Super Showdown tomorrow, so make sure you guys watch that as well. I love you guys as always, and I will talk to you all later. And if you're wondering, will you do another SmackDown Live review? Most likely not. Most likely not. Anyway, love you guys as always, and I'll talk to you all later. Peace out.